morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. If you really think about it, there really is no such thing as failure or mistakes, When it comes down to it, when it all comes down to it, nothing really means anything until you give it definition. So if you feel like you failed, then that's exactly what you did. If you feel like you made a mistake, then that's exactly what you did. But no matter what these words, no matter how they throw them out there or how people choose to define them, you still have the ending result of how you choose to define it. So if you define something that you didn't get right the first time as a failure, or if you define something that you did that you wish you would have done differently as a mistake, then that's what those are. But if you don't acknowledge those things as such, then you don't give any power to that word. The only time you give power to failure or power to mistakes is when you acknowledge that that's exactly what happened. Now, should you feel that way? I can't say whether you should or you shouldn't. But what I do know is that you give things definition, not the other way around. Things don't define themselves and then you relate to it. You define what the word means. So if you don't feel like you failed, rather, you just are still on the way to getting it right, then that's exactly what it is. It's actually all about how you choose to look at it. That's why I say it's how you define it. There are no real such things as mistakes. You didn't make a mistake. You're just traveling on the same journey, and this was just a part of it. This was just one stop that's trying to tell you to do something different. So it's not really something you did wrong. It's just you on a journey to getting it to be what you need it to be, or what you want it to be, or to get it correct. However you choose to look at it, know it's all about your perspective. So what I'm trying to tell you is always give yourself time to look inward, look introspectively, and define it for yourself. Don't let other things or other people try to define things for you if that's not what you relate to. So if you don't relate to something as being a failure or something as being a mistake, then don't you let anybody else try to tell you or convince you that that's what you did. It's all about how you relate to it. It's all about how you define it. So don't keep going on this journey that you're going on thinking that all these past things that you didn't get right, you made a mistake, or that you failed. It only is a mistake or failed if you relate to that, if that's what you define those things as. I personally think you're just steady going on a journey to get to where you're trying to get to. And along the way, you're going to not understand correctly. You're not going to get it right correctly. You're not going to go about it or think about it correctly. And that is okay, because it's all a part of getting to the end of the journey, getting it to be where you need it or want it to be. And the only way to do that is to just keep going forward, not dwelling on what you didn't get right, what you didn't think about the first time, how you didn't go about a certain situation. It's all about perspective. You define what is going on with your journey, not anybody else. So take time out and look at it from an internal perspective. What do you think? How do you define what you've done thus far? Is it really a failure? Is it really a mistake? Or are you just still going on this journey to getting what you need to be that way, to get what you want to be that way? It's all about how you define it. So make sure you give things the correct definition that you can relate to, and not the other way around. Not the way someone else defines what happened to you for you. Got it? Motivation Monday on Tuesday. Sorry, I was at work. I couldn't get it done. But I'm here with Motivation Monday on a Tuesday. Go be dope.